It's Madden NFL 23 on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the boys and the Niners. And it's all up next.
We're about 40 miles. It's the team of the 80s versus the team of the 90s. The Niners, the Cowboys, they're underway. From the 10. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now we'll see what the right arm of Dak Prescott has in store as the Dallas Cowboys offense sets up shop.
It's been a lot of fun watching him advance in his career. Many people question his ability to throw the football coming out of Mississippi State. He's conclusively answered that question. In addition, a very strong runner and an even better leader.
They start on the ground with Elliott. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
From the 29, Prescott. Open man is Noah Brown. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage. So timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
A first down throw for Prescott. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Dak dropping this one off for Zeke. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive in making plays.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. He'll fire this deep for Gallup. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Not the desired outcome, but probably won't be the last time we see him take a shot downfield.
There defensively for the breakup, Charvarius Ward. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To the air again, Prescott. Over the middle, complete. That's Schultz. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 25 yards that time.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. They'll throw again. Prescott to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer, but he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now Prescott. And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Cowboys will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. They got to love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. Takes it at the 7. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by Mr. Irrelevant in the 2022 draft, a guy with something to prove, Iowa State's career passing leader, and that's Brock Purdy.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
On first down, it's Purdy. Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards.
They go with the empty set there, 5 receivers in the formation. Normally, you want to have a running back in to block, but in this case, he's lined up to the right, and he ends up getting the football. A lot of confusion calls defensively, and it turns into a big play.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Purdy looking to throw. Open man is Juwan Jennings. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, second down. When they're lined up in the 46 defense like that, running is just going to be a slog.
Especially if you're trying to run it in the middle of the defense. So what you're hoping, get a stalemate against the three across the front, and can you get some one-on-one blocks that you can win on the perimeter? To me, that's the best place to carry the football.
Flushed out right. And this is caught, Jennings. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 14. A very solid gain of 27.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. A handoff left, McCaffrey. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. After 7-0 on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Purdy with it on 3rd and long. Flush to his right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. The kick by Gold is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. Takes it at the 7. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Eluding the pressure right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, I think he's just grateful to get back to the line of scrimmage and avoid not just losing yardage, but a big hit on that play as well. That defense closed on him quick and forced a quick surrender out of bounds.
Throwing again on second down. Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Looking to throw. Prescott. This will be caught by Brown. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to make it 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Back deep, Ray McLeod. This is taken at the 23. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Purdy now to throw. They'll find Ayuk open right side. A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Now Purdy. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game? That's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a 1st down.
McCaffrey running up the middle. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. They'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a 1st down. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 right at the 40. They'll go option to the short side. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Pretty good job there defensively of stringing that one out.
Yeah, you've got a quarterback who's waiting and waiting for something to develop, and it just never materialized, and down he went behind the line of scrimmage.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. He's going to keep this again. And they'll be stopped at the 28 on a play that started at the 14. They pick up 14. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And the ball is knocked out, but an alert 49er able to gain possession, so they will indeed hold on to the pigskin. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. It's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. Throwing here, Purdy. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jennings. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. He's one of the bigger receivers in the game, CD, and his size that time certainly helped against double coverage.
Yeah, you're still at a little bit of a disadvantage when you're going against multiple defenders when they're trying to double you and sometimes triple you. But you're exactly right. With his build, he can minimize that disadvantage, and he more than held his own and hauled that one in right there.
Two minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. On first down, Purdy. Escaping the pressure right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Purdy. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle, an 11-yard touchdown. And the 49ers have taken the lead.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. A 10-play drive that time. And it all ends with a George Kittle touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. From the 6. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Prescott on first down. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Throwing, Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Throwing on second and long. Prescott back to Elliott, and he's got him again. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. An extra DB for the 49ers now on third. Up the middle, here's Elliott. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. On is the punter, Brian Anger, to kick this one away. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And a fair catch taken here right at about the 40-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Well, the Niners going back on offense now late in this first half. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Here's Purdy on 1st and 10. Dancing to his left. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Purdy will set up to throw it here. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
I spy a couple of extra defensive backs on the field for Dallas.
Cowboys in the dime on third. Here's Purdy. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Again, it's Purdy to throw it. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. The kick by Gold is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Cowboys. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. Meanwhile, for the Niners, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half from the 6. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
On second down, McCaffrey. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
And the Cowboys here on third down, bringing in an extra defensive back. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. A handoff, McCaffrey running right. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. And tip your cap to DeMarcus Lawrence. Nice play defensively.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Now an option play, and he'll keep it. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open man is Ayuk, complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 41-yard line. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage, because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. Shifts by him. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Brought down in the play by Deron Bland.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down. Purdy. Flushed out right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
Robbie Gould on now to try the field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Gould is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side. I
would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. Now it's Gold after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 34. He'll hand it off to Elliott to begin the drive. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Again, it's Elliott. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 7 yards there and a first down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. The RPO always puts the defense in a little bit of a predicament, but when it's Deke and Zach, that probably makes it extra tough, doesn't it?
Predicament. I like that word because when you look at it from the defense's perspective, hard to commit either way, right? Because if you do, you're overcommitting. That's what they call a stressful situation. Many think that Dak should keep the ball more. Built so well, so solid, and running was a huge part of what he did at Mississippi State.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. Flush to his right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
On second down, Elliott. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Eluding the pressure right, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The Nick Bosa so quick on the outside. He gets in there to bring him down.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Oh, no, he lost the football. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. Prescott from the gun. Escaping the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Let's go, baby. Turn it up. Catch that, baby. That's how we eat. Let us dictate.
Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Mike McCarthy took the gamble, didn't pay off. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. To throw again on 2nd down. Purdy, he's got this complete to Ayuk on the out route. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 7 yards there and a 1st down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Oh, no, he lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. Dallas offense set for this next drive. They trail by 2 scores in the 4th, and their defense did its job getting the fumble recovery. Now time to see what this offense has left in the tank. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Over the middle here to Brown. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Play fake. Here's Prescott. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 37. And Prescott to Schultz there for the Cowboy first.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
To the air again, Prescott. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
We got a big time. Let's get something going now.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Prescott to the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. So the completion good for just 3. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, the rules on the field is reversed.
So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Now Dak. Got a man. It's Brown. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They get 17 down to the 17, and it's a first down.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
Here's Dak. This will be caught once again by Brown. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Here's Prescott. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete.
And now the focus is really clear. They need to get that first down and either get out of bounds or maybe use one of those timeouts.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. To throw, Prescott. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
The nice thing is that you've still got all your timeouts in the middle of the field. That should still be an option, especially if you see the defenders pinching the sideline. You can run a little seam route right here and pick up some nice yardage.
So a big one coming now for Brett Maher. This is a 26-yard attempt. The kick by Maher is good. And the deficit trimmed to 6 now. It's 16-10. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
So the field goal got him back within one score, and now the focus lies on this onside kick. And the 49er hands team does its job. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. They run with McCaffrey off the option. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to perhaps salt this one away. And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And this will stay a 1-score game as the lead will hold at 6. Now, things just got interesting. They tried for the long field goal there to salt this one away. They don't get it, and now a little time for the other guys to mount a late drive.
Well, they thought their kicker would put it through the post and finish this one off. I'm sure they discussed pooch punting it and letting their defense take over. Well, the defense now has to make it stand up, but they didn't get the best field position because the ball comes back to the line of scrimmage.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 44. Prescott. He's got Elliott. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Nothing open downfield. They went underneath.
Yeah, see if you can get it to your running back. See if you can.
Now Prescott. He's going to let it fly. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. Let's take over. What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building